Good morning, good afternoon, good evening. Whenever you're watching this, know that I appreciate you. It is Monday afternoon, Monday evening, Monday, November 19th. November 19th at, is this 4:57 p.m.? I think 4:57 p.m. And I'm off work. I've done a little shopping. As you can see, I've got the Christmas tree behind me. The Christmas tree I didn't purchase though. I didn't purchase the Christmas tree. It was actually given to me so that I wouldn't have to purchase a Christmas tree. So I'm excited about that because it's a pre-lit Christmas tree, 6 foot tall. And they typically run, and not only is it pre-lit 6 foot tall, but I believe it has like a pot that it sits in. So that makes it look like it's actually planted. I think that's what it has. I don't remember right now. Yeah, looking at the image, that's what it has. It has a pot that makes it look like it's actually planted in the tree, or in the tree's actually planted in a pot. So I didn't have to purchase that. That's a very expensive tree. And when I say very expensive, I say very expensive for me. At this point, it's not something that I would want to spend my money on. I would buy another tree, but I'm very grateful that this tree was given to me, so I don't have to buy a tree at all. I just have to buy the ornaments, and I'm excited about that. I don't know what theme we're going to use this year, what theme we're going to have this year, because we didn't put a tree up last year because we just weren't sure if we wanted to or not, and then when it all boiled down to it, we never even bought a tree. But this year we had made up our minds that we were going to do one, and we were talking about what color, what theme we wanted to use, and we weren't sure. And then I was asked if I wanted that tree because they're buying a new one, and I said sure, why not? It saves me. So I took that tree. But Thanksgiving is this week, and I am actually looking forward to it. I'm actually going to cook this year. I did not cook last year. We actually went out to family's house and supped with family last year, but this year I am cooking. I found a nice sized turkey for just the 3 of us, and my husband and I went out yesterday and bought the majority of the sides and all of that stuff, and then I went today and bought more stuff, including the pans to put things in, and making my peach cobbler dump cake instead of making a traditional peach cobbler. I made a traditional peach cobbler last year to take with to take with us when we went to have dinner with family, and I did not like it. It was too dry, and I was fine with it. I was fine making it, but when it was all said and done, it was just way too dry for me. But the husband wanted a traditional peach cobbler, and the family members wanted me to bring something, so I said I'd bring that. The husband did not want the dump cake, but that's what I'm doing this year. I'm doing the dump cake this year, and it's really very simple. It's actually very much like making the traditional peach cobbler, only you don't use the pie crust. You use something else to create the crust. And if you know anything about the dump cake, you know that it's just cake mix. That's why it's called a dump cake. I call it the peach cobbler dump cake. Been sitting there for too long. So I just finished getting all the rest of that stuff. And then, of course, dinner for tonight. So we're going to have chili tonight. I'm not asking the husband what he wants. This is what we're having. And that's that. Had a good weekend. I stayed active this weekend, and when I mean I stayed active, I mean I was actively working on my daughter's mentor, actively working on the journal and the devotional. Oh, pardon me, that was so rude, but I couldn't help it. But I was actively working on the journal and the devotional, tweaking that. I sent it out to my beta group, and I got some feedback from at least one of those people don't do so much. Blogs, I just type them up, glance through them, make whatever corrections need to be made or changes that need to be made, and then I go from there. But with something like this, I knew that I needed to do the printout version. So I did that today. I'm going to go home and make those changes. I also decided that I wanted to be smaller versus larger, so I'm going to make that change to the paper size as well, and go from there. I'm so excited about this. I want this to be a blessing to anyone that reads it. My goal is to get it up this week, hopefully Thanksgiving Day, no later than Friday. That's the goal. So my prayer is that the beta group gets through it and sends it on to me with whatever suggestions they have, so that I can make whatever changes I need to make, or just take their suggestions to heart for the next go round. But yeah, I'm excited. Got the logo done for my daughter's mentor, also for my coaching business. I got those logos done, and I'm so grateful. I'm so grateful to God for putting all of this in my path right now. It's just amazing. I'm so grateful for that. So yeah, I got the logos done and posted on Instagram, both logos, as well as on Facebook on the My Daughter's Mentor page. I posted the logos there, as well as changed the cover for My Daughter's Mentor. So I've been busy, and that's why I've been busy. I've been active, and it's a beautiful thing. I am so determined to walk in my purpose on this. I'm so determined to do it the way that God would have me to do. I'm so determined to get it done. To get it done. I am determined, and grateful that He has trusted me with this assignment. So yeah, so that's what I've done all weekend. Been really busy taking care of that stuff. Today was another easy work day, but I did not do any. Well, I take that back. I did do I did the editing on the journal at work, because it was another slow day. I got all my work done, with the exception of a couple of things that were given to me at the last minute, and I'm not even fretting over that, because it'll be there for me to do tomorrow, so I'll have something to do tomorrow. I'm not anticipating that we're going to have a whole lot going on this week, because it's the holiday. The phones are ringing off crazy today, because I know that everyone's trying to get their jobs done between today and Wednesday. But I don't anticipate this being a super busy week. And then we've got Thanksgiving and Friday off, which gives us a 5-day weekend. And I am grateful, because I need it. That's going to give me the time to rest that I need to rest. That's going to give me the time to do any tweaking I need to do, and then work on the next thing, because the next thing is the ebook. The next thing is the ebook. Once I get the journal launched and out, the next thing is the ebook. So I want to spend a good portion of that time that I'm home for the holiday doing that, taking care of that. I've already got the video shot, the first course video shot, and I was going to film all of the others, but then I began to think about it. I'm going to do the first one only, and not do the rest until the first one is launched, because what I want to do is get the opinions of those that are taking the course and have gone through that first class, that first session, to give their feedback, because it doesn't make sense for me to put something in the video that's not useful to those who'll be watching it. There's nothing Hurst than paying for a course, and all of the information is useless. So I'm not going to shoot the other videos. I will wait until I get the first session up and the course launched ultimately, and then do the rest. This would have been the perfect time for me to do it though, because I will have those 5 days, but I'm not launching the e-course this week. I'm launching the journal this week. And for those who may be interested, the journal is called, and I will post a video specifically for the journal here, as well as my professional page, and then I'll also do it on Instagram and Facebook and Twitter, all of my social media platforms. I'll do it there as well. But the journal is called The 9 Essential Fruits, and it's based on Galatians 5, verses 22 and 23, and it's talking about the fruit of the Spirit. So that's what the journal is. It goes through each individual fruit, and my understanding of what God is saying about those things, what He expects us to do as it pertains to those traits, those characteristics. So that's what the journal is about. I mean, the devotional is about that. The journal is to accompany the devotional, and you will, there are 3 sections under each fruit, under each trait. There are 3 sections. The first one is for you to give your initial thoughts, your immediate initial thoughts. So right after you read it, write down 3 to 5 things that stand out to you. And then the second task is for you to go deeper into those thoughts, elaborate on those thoughts. And the last thing is your takeaway. The last thing is for you to talk about what you heard God say to you while reading that section. And it's just that simple. It's just that simple. And I'm excited. This is one of those purpose things, and I'm excited that God has, again, given me this assignment. He's entrusted this assignment to me, and I'm ready. I'm so ready for that next level. I'm ready to help His people. I'm ready to, and it's not just for the ladies. This is not just for the ladies, even though my daughter's mentor is about women, is for women. This devotional, this journal is not just for women, it's also for men. As a matter of fact, I was showing it to my husband, and he wants to go through the journal. He wants to go through the devotional and go through the exercises. So I'm very excited about that. I'm excited that he's willing to do that. So yeah, I'm excited he's willing to do that. So it's not just for women. My daughter's mentor is for women, but the 9 Essential Fruit devotional and the accompanying journal is not just for women. So yeah, I am ecstatic. I don't even know how many times I can say. I don't think there are enough words to even express how excited I am about this, and how grateful I am about. And I know I've said it so many times throughout here, because I mean, the truth is the truth. I'm just excited and I'm grateful that this is what I will be doing. This is what God has called me to do. And for the people that will prayerfully be fed by it, and grow closer to God because of it, as well as live a more Christ-like life, get a better understanding of what these fruits are, and these characteristics, these traits are, and what it is that God wants them to do. So I am excited about that. Now, two other things. Well, I'll just say one. I won't say two. One other thing is I just got a text from my middle child who still lives in Chicago. Don't mind my Scully or my little pom-pom hat. It's still cold here. But I needed to take my coat off. It would help if I park straight. I needed to take my coat off in this car because it was too hot. But I got a text from my middle letting me know that there was an active shooter at one of the major hospitals in Chicago. And it just so happens that that hospital means a lot to us because that is where my grandparents saw their doctors. That is where they had whatever procedures they had. Their doctor was as a matter of fact, their doctor, her office is right across the street from the hospital. But whenever they had to go in for anything, they went there. When they had ER visits, they went there. And as a matter of fact, even though a lot of times they were transferred to a hospital closer to their home, or they were driven to a hospital closer to their home when they had to go by ambulance, they were always transferred from that hospital to Mercy Hospital because that's where their doctor was. That's where everybody knew them. Again, whatever treatment they had to have, whatever procedures they had to have, they did it there. So that hospital means a lot to us because that's where they were. It also means a lot to us because my oldest works across the street from the hospital, like not across the street, but more like a good 3 blocks away from the hospital. He works very close to it. And then my middle lives not far from the hospital. He lives in the Chinatown area, and the hospital is just on the outside of the Chinatown area in what they consider the South Loop of Chicago. So yeah, pray for those people. The video that I've seen thus far states that there were either 4 or 5 injured, and 4 or 5 shot, I should say, and one of those was the actual gunman, and the understanding is that he is now deceased, and it started out as a domestic violence situation. So yeah, that hit home as well, just because of just how I was brought up, the things that I witnessed, but also because of what's happened most recently with my youngest. And you know, so domestic violence is never ever the answer. And for people who don't seem to understand, domestic violence is not just physical violence. It's also mental, emotional, and financial. And it's so strange because I was just thinking on that very thing last week and thinking about doing a video specifically on domestic violence, and writing a blog specifically on domestic violence. And then, ironically enough, Jada Pinkett Smith's Red Table Talk is specifically on domestic violence today. And then this situation happened in Chicago today. So domestic violence, although October was domestic violence month, domestic violence happens every day, every single day. I don't know the stats, and that's why I haven't written the article yet, written a blog yet, or done the video yet, because I don't have the stats yet. But I will do that. This more than ever presses me to do that. So pray for those who were involved in that shooting. Pray for those that were just at the hospital in general, because I'm sure once they found out what was happening, there was just panic. Even if they weren't close to it, there was just panic. Imagine being a patient in the hospital, even on the upper floor, and finding out that there's an active shooter in the hospital where you are getting treatment. So pray for them. Pray for the family of the shooter, and the family of the young lady that he was there to initially harm, and then all that were injured, and just basically all of them, the staff, the patients, all of them, the police officer. I think there was a police officer that was shot as well. Pray for them all, because that is what they need right now. Yeah, pray for them all. So as you can see, I'm parked, I'm home. I need to get upstairs. I've got a ton of bags to get in the house, and hopefully my child is upstairs so that she can help get this stuff in. But with that, Today's word of wisdom. Well, domestic violence, that was the word of wisdom. Domestic violence is not just a month. We should not acknowledge it just for the month of October. Domestic violence happens every day and everywhere and every class of people, every race of people. It happens. So yeah, peace and blessings. Remember to walk in your purpose and know that I appreciate you.